Hey guys, welcome back to the SC Reports podcast. I'm your host, Stephenson Cyrus. Breaking news right now, Frank Vogel will not be back with the Indiana Pacers. Larry Bird said he's not going to be renewing Frank Vogel's contract and is going to be released and is now a free agent coach. Frank Vogel posted a 45-37 season this year and was 7th in the Eastern Conference. And in his 6 years with Indiana, he totaled a 250 win to 181 loss record. And in both the playoffs and the regular season, he posted a 50% win total. So, guys, I don't know what to think of this. I think Frank Vogel did a lot better than what I expected. I really thought that Paul George was going to come back and he was going to have a multiple 40-point efforts for Indiana. I really had these guys in the lottery, if I had to be completely honest, because I didn't really have a lot of pieces that I liked and thought that, these guys can even make the playoffs. So I think he did a lot better than expectations with what they had. So let's have a look at Frank Vogel's tenure in Indiana in the past 6 years. You could say for at least 2 or 3 of those, he had the best defensive team in the league, ranked by the NBA and by most other media outlets. And Paul George was coming into place. Say what you want about Roy Hibbert now, but back then he had all the potential. He was doing a great job. Then you had the emergence of Lance Stephenson and the fact that that was the only team that could push Miami in the Eastern Conference with the Big Three era with LeBron James back in Miami. Give Frank Vogel credit where credit is due. He did a phenomenal job and posted some really good winning percentages with that team. But honestly, I don't know what else to say. I thought, Frank Vogel's a really decent coach, and you can't win them all, and you can't always rely really heavily upon Paul George. Lance Stephenson can only do so much. We learned that he can't break out and be that first option on another team. He's really more of a complementary piece and let him do his own thing as third option, but when Roy Hibbert starting to collapse as a player, as he did, you lose one of your best defensive players on the team to Los Angeles, and now that you don't have that same protection underneath as you did, it's tough. The Pacers did draft Myles Turner, and I think he's done a phenomenal job, showed a lot of calmness and defensive awareness in the playoffs against the Raptors in that 7-game series. I love the kid a lot. He's going to be a really good player. So you got that for the future. But, you lose someone like Lance Stephenson, who should have been an all-star in the previous year. It's tough to cover up somebody who was playing as good as Lance Stephenson. And Monte Ellis was not going to do that for the Pacers. He was going to come in and help with the scoring load so Paul George wouldn't have to take 40 shots a night to keep the Pacers in the game by like 5 points. But, overall, it's still very tough for Frank Vogel because he did not get a lot of help or not a lot of moves made or players coming into Indiana. So it's tough. It's tough. I really don't think Frank Vogel deserved to be fired because, for one, they drafted the pieces that they needed, but guys like Myles Turner, they need time. When you lose someone with the potential of Roy Hibbert before his downward slope, and you lose somebody who's doing as well as Lance Stephenson does, of course you're going to drop off. You're not going to be as formidable as you once were. So the expectation has to come down. But obviously, for a team that was two or 3 years ago one of the best defensive teams and one of the only teams you know, to challenge a big team like Miami. I guess it was tough for Larry Bird to say, well, I'm not really looking to go back down in expectations. So guys, what are your thoughts on this? Did Frank Vogel deserve to be fired? Leave in the comments below, share this with your friends, and guys, I will see you in the next video. Peace.